Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome to the first EVE talk after EVE Online Retribution. Now before I get started, yesterday I was too late to join the CCP Caravan, the live event that was not role-playing related, but I did hear that people had a lot of fun and that it went on for quite a while, so a lot of people had the chance to join in. Secondly, for tomorrow is Sunday, December 9th, and CCP Torfi France asked us to help them create video for the Museum of Modern Arts in New York. So I will be uploading some videos there without commentaries, just like they asked raw EVE Online gameplay. So yeah, you can expect a few of them tomorrow that will show up in the upload box. Yeah, then without commentary, so those will be for CCP to use if they feel like it. Anyways, let's move on to the market chat now, and I'll start out as always with Tritanium, which always takes a while to load up. Sellers 612, 615 is what I'm seeing here in station. Buyers 611. So yeah, pretty stable price. Oh, looks like for some reason the 1 year chart cleaned up a little bit on Tritanium. As you can see, it's still just above 6 ISK, and it's been pretty stable since, I would say, September 1st. So that's still looking alright. If I go to the 3-month chart, yeah, just pretty damn stable. Moving on to the pyrite. Here you can see that slight uptrend, which means that sellers in station are now at 1339 and buyers 1313. Used to be 12 something, so it did go up a little bit, but still nothing dramatic really. Let's see what Mexalon is looking like. It looks like CCP cleaned up some of the charts here. That's very nice. Holding up above 60. Also, well, decently stable in the 60 to 65 band since December 1st, even since July actually for Mexalon. It has a bit more variation just because it's a higher priced mineral. Let's have a look at the station orders here. Sellers 61.71, buyers 59.97, so just above 60 ISK for the sellers, and just around 60 ISK for the buyers. It's all pretty stable. I'll have a quick look at Isogen, which is actually the most expensive, or no, actually it's not the most expensive. I think Noxium is also from Isaac and is the most expensive. So let's have a quick look at this one actually. Yeah, the more expensive you go, of course, the more variation you have. And here you can see Noxium, it has known a serious uptrend. And let's have a look at Isogen. Also an uptrend since September, I would say. So some of them, as the easier ones that are mined, Tritanium, you know, just mine Veldspar, you find that everywhere. Pyrite is also found everywhere. Those are very, very stable. But Isogen, Mexalon, just a little bit, and especially Noxium, have known an uptrend and more ups and downs over the year. I guess it's because they are not found everywhere. Anyone can just mine some Tritanium and make some ISK, but it looks like those that need a bit more effort to mine do know some more variations, just because supply won't be as stable. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Let's move on to the Tech 1 chips then. I'll have a look at the Talos uptrend towards 90 million. That's a bit surprising actually. 87,500, 83 for the buyers. Yes, slowly trending up towards 90 million. So I guess the Talos is definitely a popular ship. I'm guessing it could be very popular for bounty hunting as well. It's got quite a lot of firepower for its cost. And I think if you get a couple Taloses and you can then activate a kill right on someone, there's really not a lot they can do anymore. So yeah, it still seems that Talos is pretty popular, and the chart is finally starting to look like a healthy, normal chart after more than a year since the Talos has been out. So yep, I'd say there seems to be a slight uptrend here. Let's look at the Drake, which also knows this uptrend, although it does seem to be stabilizing a little bit. What are the prices? 5,700 for the sellers, 49 million for the buyers. So yeah, Drake back above 50 million ISK. It does look like we might have a slight uptrend in Take 1 chips. We'll have a quick look at the Rogue as well. 250 million for the sellers, 236 for the buyers. Price history, you can see that same uptrend towards those 250 million which the sell orders have already reached. So that's pretty damn interesting actually. Is it that those rarer minerals are having a bigger impact on the price at the moment, that they are rising despite titanium and pyrite being so stable? It's a possibility. Might just be increased demand due to speculation as well, of course. Moving, well, I'll have a quick look at the Maelstrom, which once again knows that same uptrend. So definitely I would say across the board Take 1 chips are going up a little bit. Might indeed be speculation that there's more demand after the patch because of all the new people. It's an interesting market. You would have done well buying some before the expansion. Let's move on to technetium, which I think I failed to cover last week actually. Let's have a look at price history. Keeps going down, although slowly. It's definitely below 80,000 at the moment. 78,000 for sellers, 75,000 for buyers. So it looks like people can just continue to produce it without problem in 0.0 and bring it to the market. So I would say unless anything drastic changes either by the way it's produced or in 0.0 itself to the supply chains, you're going to see this trend continue, a slow down trend of the technetium price. Now I do know that technetium is used quite a lot in some of the mining barges like the Hulk. Let's have a look at that price. It knows that same downtrend but then back up, and I would say this downtrend is actually due to the changes in the mining barges that were introduced in the summer, so not necessarily to the changes in the technetium price. It's if any of you guys know what technetium is actually used for very extensively, I would definitely like to have that information so that I can have a look at what this very low technetium price means for other commodities that use technetium extensively. It doesn't look like it has the same impact on the Hulk, because I think that one was impacted greatly due to the changes in the mining barges themselves. But it does mirror the same downtrend right here, that sharp dive, so it's possible that it had an impact. So I would like to know if you guys have any non-exhumer products that are made with technetium, so I can have a look what the impact is on that. Moving on to the Take 2 market, we all know that it's a very unstable market, a lot of ups and downs. Bit strange how this chart is now corrupted by a data point that seems to be somewhere around March, but alright, you can definitely still see the ups and downs in this 100 million ISK band of price ranges. Let's have a quick look at the Guardian prices themselves. As you once again, sell orders 130, buy orders 123,500, so the margin is closing up once again. Like I said, when it's like 12-13 million ISK, you know, around 10%, you get a pretty good margin and very trade-worthy commodity. But right now it's like only half what it was last week. Definitely closing up there. And is the price going down again? Maybe I'll have a better look on a 3-month chart. Yeah, the price is well, it's still going down, although you can see that the 5-day moving average is going against that 20-day moving average trend. So that one is back up, which has closed down the margin. So I do expect the 20-day moving average to go back up as well, while the margin closes back down towards, I've seen it as low as 3 million on the Guardians, and after that it will go back the other way around. Guardians will probably go back in price again, increasing the margin in between them. Tech 2, it's definitely the market to look at if you're a trader. Moving on to the Tengu, let's see if the changes have done anything for them. For the Tengu producers, 1 year chart, definitely still that serious downtrend. 3 month chart might be stabilizing around 185, but I just think that that's coming closer to production cost reasons than really the market picking back up. 185 for the sellers, 178 for the buyers, still pretty much the same as last month. So it looks like this was in line with expectations, and it's really starting to find its new price around 185 million, which is pretty cheap for a Tengu historically speaking. Next up, let's have a quick look. What else do I have? Galente fuel blocks, anything changed here? No, pretty stable around 13,000 ISK, which on the 1 year chart is pretty damn low. So it definitely looks like we'll have to wait for updates in the bosses before we'll see any serious movements in the Galente fuel box. Maybe an ice interdiction, but really the new mechanics make punishing suicide gangers quite a bit more easy, so I don't know if we'll see that anytime soon. Historically, I do think we've seen a Hulkageddon in February, so that might be something that might mean a change for the fuel block prices if they go for Makinos mining ice. That's always a possibility, but until we hear anything new, just like with Technetium, I don't think this price will move in any serious way. Anything else I haven't covered on this list? No, nope. Well, have a quick look at Siderine, which is actually down on the 1 year chart. So it doesn't feel to me like it's these very expensive minerals either that are pushing up the price of Tech 1 chips. So it might just be speculation and increased in demand due to increased activity, which is of course very good news for EVE itself. Let's have a quick look at some of the new commodities. Actually, Salvage Drone 1, of course we won't see a lot on the chart at this point, they've just been out. But at the moment you can pick up some Salvage Drone 1s for 75,000 ISK in Jita, buyer 60,000. So it looks like this is has found its price very quickly to me. I don't expect this to be that far off the price that is normal for the Salvage Drone 1s, just because it's very easy. As I've shown, you can just in 10 days you can fully research this BPO. So I don't think that this will have been the one where you'll have been able to make a lot of money due to bringing them very early to the market. Some of course will have, some of these data points are very high indeed, but I think this will have stabilized very quickly just because it's so easy to make, so easy to research. Just doesn't take that much time. So let's move on to the destroyers, which might be a bit more interesting. The new Dragoon is going for 1,750,000 ISK. Buy orders 1,500,000 ISK, but you can already see some buy orders way lower than that. 1,256 is definitely the next one. Price history, well, you'll always see this trend of starting up very high and then crashing all the way down. That's just the market adapting, and some people being willing to spend ludicrous amounts for these very new ships just to try them out or to have them. But yeah, by now the EVE Online community is a well-oiled machine when it comes to bringing new stuff to the market. So compared to the coercer prices at 1,200, this is pretty decent. 500,000 ISK margin compared to that. It probably costs a bit more to build the Dragoon as well, and it's going to take at least some time for people to get fully researched BPOs. So this does look like a reasonable price this close after the launch. Let's have a look at the Corax next. The Kaldari one, might just have show him just quickly, just to make it a bit more interesting. This one is still holding on at 2 million, 1,600,000 for the buyers, comparing to the Cormorant, which is once again at around 1.2 million. That's a bit higher and a bit surprising for it being in Jita, which is a Kaldari space. I would have expected the Corax to be the one that would have been the easiest to produce and bring to the market due to the proximity of the BPOs, but that one's still holding on above 2 million. Galente Algos, actually in JITA 2,125,000, although I do see some 1,800 sell orders close by, so that might be a sign of how popular the ships are. Actually 2,000,001 is pretty high, exactly the same chart as all the other ones. And let's have a look at the taller one, 130 as well. The Minmatar one looks pretty decent to me. Actually, I'm actually very happy with the look of the Algos. Looks very good. I have a PPO of this one in research at the moment, and I still wonder if the drones will come out of these two bays here. Not sure. I don't actually think they will, but that would have been incredibly awesome. And we haven't actually looked at the Dragoon yet, which I find alright. Actually, it feels a bit bulky, but I think in space it's small enough that it makes it look like a nice little brick to project some firepower against the enemy. I think this one looks quite alright as well. The icon is very nice actually, in gold like that, shining. Pretty good, pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. A quick look at some of the new stuff that has been brought to the market. It feels pretty stable already, although I do expect the destroyers to go down as people manage to research the BPOs and bring more of them to the market. Finally, let's end up with the Plex. I'll go straight for the chart. Still pretty stable, although I can see some lower data points. Pretty interesting. Let's go to the 3-month chart. Some data points even below 580 million. So it's going to be very interesting. 585 for the sellers, 575 for the buyers. 10 million ISK margin, which is just a bit below what it is normally. It's going to be very interesting to see if the 5-day moving average goes down over the course of the next few weeks, due to people giving EVE Online a try, but maybe buying some extra Plex and bring them to the market just to get a head start, something like that. But personally, I'm not expecting a big downtrend. It's going to be interesting to see if the downtrend from a year ago, which would have been at its tail end by now here, is going to manifest or not. If it doesn't, within, I would say, 2 weeks of January, by then you could see that Plex was back on an uptrend again. I would make it very likely that it's a bottom for Plex already at just 585 million, which is of course quite high. But yet, general activity in EVE Online to me feels very high at the moment, especially with the new bounty system, the new kill ride system. A lot of people are coming back to EVE Online because these are very interesting additions to the sandbox, to what people can do in EVE Online. So I do think personally that the price will hold up, maybe a very slight downtrend. But I also do think that we're looking at the new bottom right here at 585 million for Plex. As always, I could be wrong on all of this. This is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. But those are my expectations. I think if we'll see EVE Online doing healthily on sub numbers and general activity, you know, amount of people online daily, then I think this is the price that we'll see becoming the new bottom over the course of the next year. Anyways, that's it for this EVE talk. Quite a long session actually, but after a new expansion, what do you expect? And I will see you all next time.